That was loud.
So Bekah and John, the relationship that you enter into today is the most tender, intimate, and solemn of all human relationships. Nothing will bring you more satisfaction or joy or pleasure or challenge in your life than this marriage that you begin today. But I always tell married couples that what you're doing today is also going to cause you a great deal of trouble. Love and marriage are among the most difficult of human relationships. And the writer Madeline L'Engle tells us that everyone on some days is impossible to live with. So remember that falling in love and staying in love can be two very different things. When you're young and you're wildly in love, you see the god and the goddess in each other, the one you waited for, the one you longed for. And when that god and goddess turn out to be merely human, you can get angry about that sometimes. And the very qualities that drew you together may in time be the very ones that will frustrate you with each other. So remember that romantic love that brought you together is not going to be the foundation of your relationship through the years. What's going to keep you together is real love. And real love is a little bit different than romantic, because real love isn't really natural. It doesn't meet your own agenda. It says that the relationship is more important, and it demands that you yield to the relationship sometimes. In Hollywood movies and in fairy tales, romance always ends with the couple at the altar. And that is sometimes where romance ends, but that's okay, because that's where real love begins. Your love has been through many stages already. You've been together quite a long time. You've seen each other with the flu. You've seen each other when you're tired and unhappy. And you've stayed together, and you have already learned that real love isn't just that gushy feeling that you feel about each other when you're full of romance, even though that's still a part of it and hopefully always will be. But from this day forward, love is your job description. It's what you're promising to do, no matter what. So when you're angry, when you're tired, and when for just a moment you might think that marrying this person was the dumbest thing you ever did, you will remember love is your job description, and that no matter how you may be feeling, you're promising to treat each other in a loving way, no matter what. This might be the hardest job you'll ever have. But I think we said when we talked earlier, some things you work at really hard and they don't have a big payoff. When you work hard at your marriage, it's a big payoff. You'll have a great deal of contentment and satisfaction. What you offer. Love has to be a very big ingredient in a good marriage, but so does forgiveness. I have found that the best marriages are the union of two really good forgivers. And so when you have an argument or a dispute, the first one who says, "I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, please forgive me," is the winner. But you have to mean it, because it doesn't do any good to bury the hatchet if you put a marker on the site. So think less about having the right partner, think more about being the right partner. It was clear to me from talking to you that you love each other for what you really are. You know each other very well. And you're over that part of wishing your partner would be something else and loving what they really are. Now, I've asked Kevin and Linda to do a reading, and so Linda, where are you? Would you like to, in a nice voice, read that little reading from the Song of Songs?
Sure. Place me like a seal over your heart, like a seal on your arm. For love is as strong as death, its jealousy unyielding as the grave. It burns like a blazing fire, like a mighty flame. Many waters cannot quench love, rivers cannot wash it away.
And Kevin, you have a poem for us? It's about what they can promise together?
What I can promise. I cannot promise you a life of sunshine. I cannot promise riches, wealth, or gold. I cannot promise you an easy pathway that leads away from changing or growing old. But I can promise all my heart's devotion, a smile to chase away your tears of sorrow, a love that's ever true and ever growing, a hand to hold in yours through each tomorrow.
Thank you. I chose that because I thought that I heard you saying that in your own words when you talked about each other. So, Rebecca and John, why don't you give your flowers to your attendant and turn and hold two hands and look at each other, because that look that you have for each other is very important. No one looks at you, Rebecca, the way John does. And no one looks at you, John, the way Rebecca does. The two of you see something more in each other than anyone else does. And let your love always in your gaze. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to ask you to say I do to them if you can. And if you can't, then we need to go back and talk in my office for a while. So, do you promise to respect each other and remember that the needs, desires, and interests of the other are as important as your own?
I do.
Do you promise to share your time and attention and to bring joy and strength and imagination into your marriage?
I do.
Do you promise to keep yourself open to the other, sharing your feelings and fears and secrets and dreams?
I do.
Do you promise to love in good times and bad with all you have to give in the way that you love best?
I do.
Then make these vows which you wrote yourselves to each other. John, would you like to go first?
I will.
Okay. Before God and these witnesses,
Before God and these witnesses,
I, John, take you, Rebecca,
I, John, take you, Rebecca,
as my wedded wife.
as my wedded wife,
I promise to love you with all my heart,
and promise to love you with all my heart,
to be loyal and honest and to stand by your side,
to be loyal and honest, and stand by your side,
in good times and bad,
in good times and bad,
through sunshine and rain,
through sunshine and rain,
and to have fun with you
and to have fun with you
for the rest of us.
for the rest of our lives.
And Rebecca, before God and these witnesses,
Before God and these witnesses,
I, Rebecca, take you, John,
I, Rebecca, take you, John,
as my wedded husband.
as my wedded husband.
I promise to love you with all my heart,
I promise to love you with all my heart,
to be loyal and honest and to stand by your side,
to be loyal and honest, and stand by your side
in good times and bad,
in good times and bad,
through sunshine and rain,
through sunshine and rain,
and to have fun with you
and to have fun with you
for the rest of our lives.
for the rest of our lives.
Now, did someone have rings? Who has the ring? Okay. From the earliest times, these golden circles have stood as a symbol of love, an ending circle standing for your unending love. And my hope for you today is that as often as you see these golden circles on each other's fingers, you will remember this sweet moment and the earnest promises that you have made to each other. So, Becca, why don't you go first and take John's ring, and I'll give you some bells as you put it on. With this ring I thee wed,
With this ring, I do wed,
and pledge to share my life with you.
and pledge to share my life with you.
With this ring I thee wed,
With this ring, I thee wed,
and pledge to share my life with you.
and pledge to share my life with you.
We've taken care of the formal business. All that's left is for me to give my personal final blessing. And I'd like to have your hands. I'll be on the bottom. Let's see. Rebecca, John, Rebecca, John, me. Okay. It was very clear to me from the time I spent with you that you two married each other some time ago. You crossed that invisible threshold where you saw your life together more clearly than you saw your lives alone. And it was even before that night under the tulip tree you knew that this was yours. So my blessing for you is that God will bless you and keep you and be gracious unto you. And that many long years from now you will be able to look at each other and say, because of you, I have become the person I wanted to be. Because of you, I have lived the life I wanted to live. And this would be a very good time for me to pronounce you husband and wife. I suggest that we kiss.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.